Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Marcus Solar. I wanted to thank you all for joining us this morning. We do have the privilege of having Steve Goldstein and Brooke Thomas on, both founders of the software. The interesting thing about the Retirement Analyzer software package is that it is a product neutral software you can use with each and every client. This software package helps you and your clients plan for your client's future. No matter what happens. It is a software package that you can use to build the foundation with each and every client. It is also a software package that you can adjust as you move forward each and every year when you go back with annual reviews. Again, we do have the privilege of having both founders on the call with us this morning. They're going to spend majority of the time going through the software package. We are going to be covering a number of different topics this morning within the software. So please feel free to ask any of your questions as we go through, because again, we will be covering a number of different topics within the program itself. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Marcus Solar. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. We do have the new producer bonus program or new producer builder program. It is a way for us to say thank you and welcome aboard to Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We are an independent marketing organization that has been in business now for over 30 years. We do say welcome and thank you for joining our organization for the first 6 months for you doing business, either single premium life business or annuity production, fixed index annuity business. Several different levels, 100,000 through $1 million. You can pick one item. Once you pick that item, the program does shut off. But again, it is good for any fixed index annuity business or single premium life business. You can choose anything from 1,500 piece postcard mailer all the way to preset annuity appointments, 8 to 10 of them, to help keep your pipeline full as you start building the relationship with our organization. We also have the Insurance Agency Marketing Business Builders, increase your capital, help offset costs within your organization, either the referral producer bonus program or the marketing reimbursement. Again, this is based off of the single premium life business or the fixed index annuity business. For the marketing reimbursement, for every 100,000 in premium, we put $100 into that marketing reimbursement. And everyone that you refer to our organization, for every $1 million, you get $2,000 in marketing reimbursement, or if you have $3 million producers, that's $6,000 back into that account. Again, you can use these marketing dollars to offset any marketing expenditures, or you can tie that money back into any type of lead program to help keep your pipeline full of people to see. We do have some of the best back office support within the industry. We do try to take that office business off the table for you so you can do what you do best, which is staying in front of your clients and prospects alike. We do have some of the best case design managers in the industry and some of the best new business processors, which are headed by Amber within our company. You can certainly reach her or any of the case design managers at 1-800-255-5055. They'd be more than happy to help you with any case design, any quotes, any forms or materials that you need, or if you have questions on new business, which Amber and her team stay diligent on top of that business for you to make sure that gets processed and paid in a timely manner. We do offer Firelight, which is an online access for you as far as application. It is a streamlined process. It is available through our website for you to do applications online. It really is a quick and efficient way to do business. It eliminates a lot of the errors or mistakes, so your business is paid in a much quicker manner. These are the carriers which are now approved through Firelight. We do have several carriers on the docket to be approved very, very soon by the end of the year. So take a look at the list of carriers. Let us know if you have any questions. Again, you can call any of our annuity experts for any questions at the number below. Again, that's the 800-255-5055. We would be more than happy to help or answer any questions that you have on Firelight. We do have one of the best creative marketing solutions or creative marketing department within the industry. They can help you anything from turnkey solutions all the way to digital processing or digital solutions, whether you're out on Facebook, Twitter, or any of the online social media consulting. We do help you no matter where you are in your practice, whether you're just getting into the industry and you're looking for a logo, business design, letterhead, or you've been in the industry for many, many years and you're looking for a product design or logo design, and or you want to do online or advertising for TV and radio, we can help you where you are in your industry or where you are in your practice today. You can reach out to either Sean or Jacob within our creative marketing area, and they would be more than happy to help you. We do have the IAMS website, which is available for you 24/7. If you're looking for quotes, any online materials, forums, industry links, it's there at your disposal to get that information when the office is not open. One thing that we do pride ourselves on is when we are in the office, we do not have voicemail. We believe that our advisors are our #1 asset, so we are here to answer the phones live during business hours. So you won't ever get a voicemail. You'll always get a live person when you're calling into the office. We do have IAMS Wealth Management, which is headed by Charles Hearing Jr. And Mike Hansen, which is in charge of compliance. If you are looking to get your Series 65 license or considering that, you can certainly give them a call over at IAMS Wealth Management. This does deepen the relationship. You're not leaving any money on the table when working with IAMS Wealth Management. It also gives you an opportunity to strengthen those client relationships and work on your client retention. Again, if you have any questions, you can either reach out to Charles or Mike within IAMS Wealth Management. They'd be able to help you or answer any questions with regards to that side of the business. We do have the industry recognized Life and Annuity Academy. We typically hold 3 or 4 of these events a year. They are typically co-sponsored by a carrier, either Athene or American Equity. What we do is we bring in 4 of our top multi-million-dollar producers. What they do is they share their sales process from A to Z. They share what they do to keep their pipelines full across the board. They share their sales strategies. They share what has worked for them in the past, what has not worked for them, what they struggle with, so you don't make the same mistakes they do. And you can streamline your processes as well. They also talk about annuity trends within the industry, life insurance trends. Carriers share what they see on the horizons as well. This is the event that is 100% funded by the carrier and insurance agency marketing services. If you are interested in any upcoming events, please give us a call here at the office. Let us know you are interested, and we will certainly get you on the list for our upcoming event. Again, this is 100% funded by insurance agency marketing services and the carrier. And again, there is no cost for the advisor. We do have some of our trips coming up. We do have the TEAINING Insurance Agency Marketing Summit. This is going to be held August 26th through the 29th, 2020. The invitational period is going to be held July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020. And it's going to be the Baja Oasis. Great trip, still time to qualify for this event. Then we have the Paradise on the Pacific. This is our marketing summit in 2021, March 7th through the 11th. The qualification for that is July 1, 2019 through December 31st. Again, plenty of time to qualify for this great warm event as well. And then we have the Shores of Serenity, which is going to be March 11th through the 14th. Minimum qualification for this one is going to be $6.5 million. Instant qualification at $8.5 million. Again, plenty of time to qualify for this one through the end of the year, December 31st of 2020. So what I'm going to do at this point in time, again, we do have the privilege of having Brooke Thomas and Steve Goldstein join us this morning. Again, the nice thing with them joining us this morning is that they have been advisors just like you folks. They've been on your side of the table. They know what it is to talk to a client. They know what to expect from clients. They know how to present to clients. Again, this is a product neutral software. Again, you're not pitching a product or a solution. You're trying to solve their particular problem with retirement income planning. And this software does a phenomenal job to do that. So at this point in time, I'm going to thank Brooke and Steve for joining us this morning and turn it over to them. Steve?
Thanks, Marcus. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, I just want to be able to show my screen, I think, too. So I don't think I've done that yet. I think you have to make me the presenter. Or maybe
and Steve, I just want to confirm you're able to hear me as well.
Yep, we can.
Perfect.
All right. And you can see my screen now, Marcus? Just want to make sure.
Yep.
All righty. Thanks for that intro. Guys, thanks for spending some time with us today. We're going to run through the retirement analyzer. Let me say this, the ever-changing retirement analyzer software. We'll talk to you about some of our new features. I just want to start by saying that Brooke and I, we're in continuous development of this program, and we're pushing out features, probably 2 or 3 different features every couple months or so. But you're going to get new pushes and updates and things weekly in the software. And it's really kind of exciting because what we're doing is we're building an end-to-end solution here with the software. So what does that mean? That means that you can actually, we're going to show you a prospecting tool today, okay, called 9 to Know. We'll run through that and show you how you can actually, house the link for this prospecting tool on your website. All right. We're going to show you the software and what it can do. We're going to show you a client portal and how to get the client involved in the financial planning process. And then we're going to also show you, we'll talk a little bit about our plans for a CRM inside the software. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, or I think I do know how you guys feel about it. If you could do everything in one application, that's what we're shooting for here. So hopefully by the end of the year, okay, we'll have this CRM in place and we'll help you navigate through the whole process. And I think what Marcus said, I appreciate him saying that, we did what you guys do now. We don't have too much time to do it these days because we're so into it. Just the software's grown so much that we're actually in, again, just this constant development and making the software better and better. We manage our books of business, but we get to develop this software program, and I think you're going to like what you see. So, Brooke, I don't know if I missed anything else before you want to get into the presentation.
No, just quickly though, Marcus touched on the fact that the software is product neutral, and I think that's really key. We're not going to push you into any one product or one concept. We just point out potential problems in a client's plan, and then you go in and really implement what you feel is in their best interest. So let's dive in and take a peek. I think one thing that really differentiates us from a lot of other people out there is kind of what Marcus said earlier too. We're here and we actually answer the phone, and our customer service, it's some of the best out there in my opinion. So lots of different training and support platforms out there. Monday through Thursday, in fact, every day at 10 a.m. Central, we have a live training. Monday through Thursday, we call it Power Hour. That's a little bit more basic. Okay, you can bring files, bring questions. We get through as many as we can in that hour block of time. Now, Fridays, we call it Success in 60. Steve and I teach this class. It's a little bit higher level. We'll go over a lot of new functionality, or, we've discussed the CARES Act at length. In-depth things like that. We want to keep you guys really informed about what's going on in the industry. Steve holds a class called Wednesday Weekly. It's every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central. That's all about case design. So if you've got a complicated file that you want to bring and you guys go over it live right there in that session, that's a great space to do it. Sector sessions we hold the second Tuesday of each month. That's a drill down into a specific area of the software. Those are recorded and free, so you get the recording right after the class is done. We hold a lot of live virtual training. Okay, Admin University, we do twice a year, March and September, and then the quarterly virtual track training, obviously we do quarterly. There is a charge of $299 for these classes, but here's the neat thing. If you pay for Admin U, then you get free entrance into virtual track training or vice versa. Admin U is all about data entry. The virtual track training is more of that case study type of work. We also have live boot camps. We typically do 4 a year. We did Phoenix this year, sold out. The Chicago we had to cancel due to the situation right now, but we're planning to roll with Philly August 6th and 7th, and then we'll close out the year in Atlanta October 29th and 30th. So again, one nice thing, those classes are $299. That's for a full 2-day live boot camp training. If you pay for live boot camp, then you also get all of the virtual training free of charge. So you guys can see here the really theme is we want you guys to stay up on the training. Okay, there's a lot of upgrades that you can make to the software. So IAMS, if you're actually producing and giving them business, reach out to Marcus there. He can get you set up with a subscription, and they're going to cover the cost of that base subscription. Now, there's all sorts of things that you can add to it if you want to. If you don't, not a problem. It works just fine without any of these upgrades. Software branding, though, is where you literally can take the program and skin it. So we've got a lot of client-facing pieces now. So when you send out an email to the client, or you generate a budget worksheet right out of the software, or we're going to show you a bunch of them. But there's a lot of stuff that right out of the software, you click a button and it sends it to the client. Those can all be auto-branded. We'll go in, we'll match your website, make it look completely like your company information. Okay, Morningstar, that's where you can get automatic account updates. 9 to Know is the new prospecting tool we're going to show you today. We also have a client portal. This is like a vault for clients where they can go, they can log in, they can upload documents, they can look at their file, they can actually make changes to their retirement analyzer file now. Okay, so lots of cool stuff in that client portal. We have some different marketing pieces too. We have an advisor video, one-time fee of $99 for that one, and then the training I already spoke about on the previous slide. So lots of stuff you guys can check out. All right, Steve, anything to add to those?
Well, and I don't want to talk too much about all this stuff, but I got to tell you though, again, we go back to this continuous development. So I guess the question is this: how do we get what we're doing out to you? Okay, how do you know what's happening in the software? I mean, you know, we do our calls on Friday. Brooke talked about them, right? If I go back here for a second, we do our calls every Friday, and that's where we feature a lot of what's happening. But I mean, if you don't attend some of these calls and some of these classes, you're not going to be able to, at least know what's being pushed out and what you can use now. Okay, because we have some plans for this application. I mean, this is going to be big. In the next year or so, this thing's going to explode into something really, really nice. We're talking about some pricing, right, where you can actually, put all of the services together. And you're not going to believe the price that we're going to come out with for all of this. Again, Brooke talked about, I'm covering the base, but you can structure this thing. You can set this thing up any way you want it. You really can. So I think that's really, and the pricing is going to be unbelievably low, and it's going to be affordable. And you're going to get the support. We do answer the phone. We talk to you on Saturdays sometimes, Sundays, holidays. I had a couple phone calls on Memorial Day yesterday. But we understand that you need answers, and we give them to you. That's the difference here. Our software is very, very easy to understand. We're going to show you in a second here. But you're going to be, and I'm not going to, I know this sounds weird, right? But we'll hold your hand through the whole process, right? And you won't need us after a while. We know that. We have over 3,500 users right now, and they're really doing very, very well with the software. If you look at if the client's understanding what they're trying to show them, it's working really well. So, all right, you want to jump in, Brooke? We'll go in.
Let's do it.
Look at it?
Yeah.
All right, so, okay.
Now, keep in mind, guys, what I would suggest, if you're brand new to the software, like I said, reach out to Marcus. He can get you all of the download information. From there, really dive in and use yourself as an example. That's the best way that you're going to get acclimated to this program, is plugging your own numbers into it. What we're going to work with today is just a vanilla sample type of file. We're happy to share these files with you guys. So, let us know. You can shoot us an email if you want the sample file, but let's take a look. So news and talk is really an area you can see what the markets are doing there on the right-hand side. but it houses this Thomas Gold Talk section, which is a space that you can go and ask questions 24 hours a day. And it's really like Facebook for retirement analyzer users. Be aware what you post here, all users see. So that's one little FYI. But you can see here this thread, and this has really taken off. People post in here after hours on the weekends, and we do get back to you. Okay. The other thing I want you to know about is the locker, and this locker has so much surrounding material for you. So the left-hand door for training, you can see there's the recorded sector sessions and the second one here. And look at the different topics. We try to bring in experts periodically. So, you know, we'll have the one on that was the HECM. There's just so much good information in these sector sessions. So check them out. One of my other favorite sections is the case study. Okay, and the reason why is Steve and I took all of the big topics that we faced with our own clients and tried to record, make a sample file, record the keystrokes as far as what we did to resolve the problem. We show you the printout. We really show you how to set up the whole case. And these are pretty common things that most of you probably have dealt with as well. Okay, so those are the case studies. Now, middle door, there's all sorts of appointment forms. Most people are really moving to doing this electronically, but if you are brand new to the software and you still want to print out a paper, you know, fact finder, feel free to do so. Don't reinvent the wheel. We've got all the forms right there for you. One of my favorites too is the fact packs. And the thing I like about this, these are just informational pieces. They've got a lot of good stats on them. I have all of these printed out, laminated. I keep them in my briefcase so that I can use a dry erase marker anytime I need to pull them out in an appointment. I can highlight what I need to, wipe it off, go again. Okay, so lots of good info. We do update these all every single year. Okay. We've got some marketing and some educational decks. Steve, do you want to talk about the e-decks?
Yeah, and guys, we have a new e-deck program. It stands for electronic PowerPoint deck, really, or educational PowerPoint deck. And what this is they're really presentations. And I can show you a few slides if we have time at the end today. But what we do is we write presentations for you, okay? And you're able to receive 2 per year with speaking notes, okay? And if I have a second here, I think I have one here. Let me see if I can pull it up. All right, and let me just show you a little bit there. I'm going to bring this one over here. This is the tax e-deck right here. Actually, I think. Wait, let me. Yeah, this is the tax e-deck. So take a look at this, though, really. And then really, what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a presentation on tax and how to save income tax over your lifetime, and how to save tax on your Social Security benefits over your lifetime, and how to keep in the lowest tiers for Medicare Parts B and D. Okay, and what do you get with this? You actually get the notes too. Okay, so they're all here, and there's some good slides here, right? There's some nice stuff here. But what Brooke does is she does an excellent job of actually taking this, right, and giving it a proprietary look and feel, subject to your company colors, your logo, your contact information, right? And then, but we go through, and again, those 3 things are all we're trying to get across. How do you save federal tax over your lifetime? How do you keep your Social Security benefits from being taxable? And then how to stay in the lowest tiers when it comes to Parts B and D. And we have some nice charts here. We talk about how taxes work a little bit, but we're very, very careful to keep it simple. Okay, I mean, we have all the tiers for Parts B and D. Let me just scroll down to Irma, and you can see all the information here, and how to present it, and again, how to keep in the lower tier, $174,000 for a married couple or less. You pay $144.60 for Part B this year, okay? And they have to understand, you know, how to create, and this is probably one of the most important slides right here, and let me make this a little bit bigger here. Again, there's notes with it all, right? But if I pull this down, I mean, this is really what it's all about. Right? Roth conversions. Our software, you can do Roth conversions and show how much you have in tax savings over a lifetime to a client within a couple of keystrokes, right? Max funded life policies. I know we all love that concept. HECMs, Brooke just mentioned it a second ago. Why would you not draw money out of your home while you're alive to support your lifestyle if you need it? The kids aren't going to want the home. 75, 80, 90% of the kids, they don't want the home. They don't. So why not, in a structured way, pull it out to support or facilitate your income need in retirement if necessary? And this is the kind of stuff that we talk about here. But again, this is one of these EDEC presentations, right? There's a program we have that's going to be part of that whole bundled pricing, right? That's going to be very, very low. That's the end-to-end solution. And this is one of the choices here. Okay? So you receive 2 presentations per year, and you get to basically, and they're updated, and you get to go out and you get to talk, about taxation in a simple way so clients understand you. Okay? They're EDECs. What else, Brooke, on that? Anything?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Want to jump in?
All right, let's take a look at the sample file. Like I said, we're happy to share this with you if you want it.
And we'll just go through the basics, I think, here.
Yeah.
I got a couple different scenarios in here, though. But I'm gonna open up the current, and then we'll just go through and look at the reports and print and stuff. So go ahead.
Perfect. Okay. So what you'll notice about our program, we have 3 input tabs, 3 output tabs, and then 3 solutions tabs. So when it comes to data entry, you're doing that really all on tabs 1 through 3. So let's just quickly roll through that. Tab 1, we're going to look at employment income. We want to know, are they still working, how much money they're bringing in every month, and when they hypothetically want to retire. This program also works for folks that are retired. All you got to do is check the box right there. It will adjust several things throughout the application. Okay, the middle section is for Social Security. We can handle any and all types of benefits. So if they're drawing, a primary benefit like we are in this example, or if for some reason they were able to take advantage of a file and suspend or something like that, you can see on the drop down, we can handle all of them. Bottom area is for pension benefits. So again, you can build in as many pension benefits as you want. You can handle COLAs, survivor options. You can handle compound versus simple interest. It's all right here. Now, what you're going to find is that we put what we call the basics on the outside here. We call them quick adds. If you want to go and do extra data entry or build in extras, you use the plus infos to do so. So if we click on the one next to pensions, you can see we have some taxation triggers here. We also have that simple versus compound on the right-hand side. Okay. All right. Let's close that and go now to tab 2. Okay, so on tab 2, the top section is for retirement assets. So anything the client has really set aside for retirement that's going to go through spend down. That's the key here, that's going to go through spend down. You're going to enter in the top section. Okay, regardless of whether it's emergency funds, annuities, stocks, it all is handled right here. Now, additional assets is an area that you're going to build in things like home values. You can see artwork, gold and silver. Those are things that definitely affect the net worth. You can do withdrawals from them, et cetera. But these are not going to just go through spend down like the top assets. So let's use the personal residence, for example. They would have to go in and sell their home in order for that $400,000 to go to work for them. Okay, that's why we're putting things like that in the additional assets section. Okay, next we have a SPIA section that can handle both SPIAs and QLACs, and then we have an income benefit annuity section. So this is truly for annuities designed for income. If it's just an annuity that they're using for growth, like a MIGA or something like that, that needs to go up top in the top section. Okay, but again, if they're really designed for income, go ahead and pop them right here. You can see under the plus info, there's all sorts of good information here that you can build out pertaining to payouts.
Okay.
All right. Now, down below, we have a pie chart. The left-hand pie chart, we're looking at the current allocation and comparing it to the client's desired allocation. You can obviously see that the client in this example has a little bit more at risk than they want. So we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Also, on the right-hand side, we've got some summary information there, but then note that the minimum retirement funds are $40,000 in this example. That's going to create a yellow line we'll see here in just a moment. Let's move now to tab 3. Now, tab 3 is where you can start with the budget information. You can run what we call a clumped number if you want, or what we really encourage you to do is an advanced expense plan. You can send these right out of the software. It's all electronic. The client can fill it out, click generate. It's going to send you an email. You can import it right back into your software, so no more rekeying the data. Okay, very cool stuff like that in the program. I love this budget worksheet too. It's totally customizable. There's all sorts of templates. So if you've got a certain way you want the client to do a budget, you can set up your own template. It'll open that way every time for you. You can see, you can run inflation rates per expense, start and end dates. Very, very flexible when it comes to budgeting. Okay. Go ahead and close this up and move to tab 6. So on tab 6 is where we summarize it all. We're looking at everything we've entered,
and
we're bringing it together.
Just let me change the scenario, would you? Okay, because I'm going to just jump to this one here. It'll be the same thing. All right, now let's go to 6. Sorry. There you go.
No problem.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what we're looking at here, like I said, is a summary. And often you're going to see this happen where we have a red and yellow line appearing. Now, remember the 40,000 that I mentioned back on tab 2, right here when the retirement funds drop below the 40,000, it's our caution light. That's what the yellow is representing. Now, the red is where the retirement funds are zero. Here's the thing. The client's not fully out of money. They still have a pension and Social Security coming in. But look at the difference between their income and their expenses. They're short over $2,700 a month right there in 2046. Okay, they don't have any retirement funds left, so they have no reserve left to basically bridge that gap. So they're either going to have to make a significant change to their lifestyle, or we need to go in and make changes to make that money last longer. So that's what Steve's going to show you, is how do we push this red line out of the equation.
Okay, so we can solve problems like this, guys. Okay, and I just want to show you, before I do that, I want to show you what this looks like, though. So what is this big spreadsheet here? Okay, and this is really just the rest of the client's financial life, right? And you have the ages, the pension income, Social Security, monthly cash flow. We do all the taxes under the hood for you. Okay, you have annual cash flows and the net monthly income. And then we show you what the net monthly cash flow is, right? If I pick a year, 2024, let's say, okay, I know every month that we're running negative cash flow, substantial in this case, right? $80,000. So where's it coming from? If I put my mouse over here, okay, it shows the top account where these funds are being withdrawn from. Okay, watch the 72 go down. See? So, and I'm not saying it's the right or the wrong thing to do, but they have the Roth in #1 position there. See that? All right, so you're able to sort of calculate that at the bottom, right? It's going to do a tax calculation for you also. All right, now this is a small one here because they're retired, but let me just go back here and just show you a couple things with regard to tax while they're working. Okay, let's open up 2021 for a second, and we're gonna do everything for you. Okay, so we know in 2021 we know that the gross monthly salary is 158,000. All right, we're making some contributions here to a 401k. We're actually taking some after-tax money and popping into a savings account. All right, we have some rental income coming in right here, and we do the whole calculation for you for gross income. Okay, you see how the qualified contributions are knocked off before we go through the taxing process? And if I put my mouse over the 39,000 right here, look at that. It's there, federal, state, the two FICAs, okay, Social Security, Medicare, it's all there. So what do you have to do in your appointment, right? Call us before the appointment, call IAMS for the product, and just go be yourself and understand what keys you have to click or you know, what you have to click, what keys you have to touch, whatever, to basically give clients answers right there real time. It's here. Now, you don't want to talk taxes? Don't come into this window. You don't have to, right? But just know that it's happening here. RMDs, same kind of thing, right? We start at age 72 now. All the new stuff's in here. It's been in here. It's been in here. It was here December 30th of last year, before the Secure Act actually happened. The CARES Act stuff is in here. Don't have to take an RMD this year, right? It's all here. Okay, so you can rely on this kind of stuff. But again, you know, if you have the engineer type client or whatever, you know where to go. If you feel uncomfortable going there, call us first. We'll help you with just the process. We don't do product, right? We'll do, you know, hey, look, go to this tab, or what about this one right here? Cumulative tax over a lifetime. Client has a question. What if you could, and at this point say, hey, look, you know what? You're scheduled to pay $300,000 in tax over your lifetime, federal and state. Now, this one's low because they're running out of money. A lot of times you'll see millions, $2, $3, $4 million. And what if you could do a Roth conversion to drop it, you know, by 600,000 or 700,000? And you can a lot of times. That's the power of this software. But I'm going to show you what you can do in real simple form. I'm not going to go through the keystrokes, but what if we did something like this? Now I'm going to go to reports and print. I know there's a lot of numbers here, but I want to concentrate on this left-hand side here. This is what Brooke showed you. These guys are running out of money at age 85. Okay, and that's the initial run through. We call it the current scenario. We just gather the facts. And these notes here, you compose them. You tell the story. Make it as detailed as you want. I don't know if I would recommend that, or as simple as you want, which we probably would recommend. And you only put the information in one time. Now, there's other ways to actually collect the information. Brooke showed you the client data form, right? We're going to show you an electronic way where you can actually make a prospect up and make a prospect portal up for them. So they can actually go into the portal and fill out a blank retirement analyzer scenario. Okay? But once you gather this, right, then what you start to do is you go to work. And we're not talking product here. We're talking about changes of behavior. We're talking about, recommendations, maybe to work a little longer. Maybe they start Social Security a little later. Maybe they contribute while they're working to their Roth IRAs. And so basically what I'm trying to tell you here is that this one here, the second one, is the first one, a copy of the first one with these 3 changes. That's it. And look at the outcome. Now, I know it looks like 243,000 versus 0, but it's not just that. It's 15 years later and $250,000 more, right? 46, 61. That's the power of the software. And then what if you added a product? Now call IAMS, get the product information you need, right? Now you add the product and we go from 243 to 638. That's just an income benefit annuity right here. That's all it is. And that's the power of the software. If the product doesn't make the numbers or the conservative projections better, why would you sell the product? Document everything. It's all here. See? This one is this with the money movement right here. That's all it is. Okay? So again, one more time, right? This one is this with these changes, and then I copy this one down here and I make this change, and look at the difference. So I'm almost $400,000 better, you see? And that's what you can do in the software. Let me show you one over here. Now, you guys are into the power of 0 concept. What if I told you that? And this is the bigger one, like I was telling you, right? And here's 3 scenarios here. And this is the first one. Client does nothing, okay? They're scheduled to pay $1.3 million in tax over their lifetime. This is much bigger than this one. And they have $2.2 million left. Now, we have a tool in the software that can actually make the situation a heck of a lot better by actually taking your qualified balance down to a point where your RMDs will never be bigger than the standard deduction. Okay? And that's rather extreme. Okay, sometimes you have to convert a lot of money. But if I went from the first one to the third one, look at my tax, what happens. I drop by about what? $550,000 in tax I drop. And my legacy value is about $1.2 million better, what I leave at age 100. Now, you don't have to do, this is our tool here. There's an automatic tool that'll take you from here to here and show you how to get there. Now, the client might not want to do all that. Maybe they want to do something in between. So you're able to manually go in and say, look, I don't like this. I understand this is great, but it's a lot of movement of money and we're going to do it fast and it might be too much for the client to feel comfortable with. So I'm going to do something in the middle. And you can see here now it goes from 2.2 to 2.7. I dropped my taxes by about 200,000, but look at that though, right? It's almost $500,000 to $450,000 higher. So you can do this with this software and show the change in lifetime tax. It's just a question of how much you want to use, how deep you want to get into the software, really. And that's really how we do it here. So there is nothing out there that we can't project or model or whatever you want to call it out there. And again, those Wednesday weekly classes, we love hard cases. The simple cases we kind of use for Power Hour, Brooke was talking about, right? But the Wednesday weekly cases, we want the detailed case. We want you to close a $3.4 million client because of the Wednesday weekly review. It's a group of about 20 advisors. They're there every week, and you get feedback from everybody. You can change the names if you feel uncomfortable in the case, but we sit there for 1 straight hour on your case. okay? And that's what we do. So Brooke and I are very, very accessible. We own the company, but we know how important it is to talk to everybody and to really, we want the feedback. This here has grown. It's truly a book of best practices, advisors across the software. It's a community of advisors, and everybody gives their feedback. And we pick and choose through everything, and Brooke and I pick what we want to put into the software. And if there's a lot of people that want a certain, function or whatever, we actually put it in. And we're pretty nimble when it comes. Got a great programming team. And so that's why the software changes so much. And then that's why we have the problem, like we talked about, of, when people don't attend the training classes. I'll tell you, it's changing the software. Now, one thing we won't do, guys, is we won't ever change the software to a point where we're going to take away what you do. Well, what you'll see happen is that we'll see some advanced buttons popping up, and you could do things a different way. But one thing we won't do is change up what you do in the software. And Brooke, right? I mean, there's a lot of processes in the software that have been there for 10 years, I think, if we look back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but that's what we're able to do. But what I'd like to do now, if we can, and we're running a little bit light on time here, I'd like to go into the client portal and then show 9 to know, Brooke. So let's jump into the client portal real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So what this client portal is going to give you the ability to do is to really set up the client with their own login. That will enable them to see not only the retirement analyzer file that you've created, and let's just click this little arrow here and jump in. Now, what you're looking at here is the client side. Okay, so if you brand the software, this is where it'll be your company logo in the left, your phone number on the right, and all of your colors, etc. But what you can see here is the dashboard view. And so it's taking the scenario that you created for them and really summarizing and showing them really the highlights of the file. So their total assets, liabilities, their net worth, their expenses, etc. And again, these are auto-generated, populated numbers for you. If they want to see the actual financial plan, and the numbers will line up with those dashboard views as well, they can click here and see the main 6 tabs of the software. Now, as the advisor, you have the ability to control whether you want the client to be able to play with and change the numbers in the file, or if you want to lock it down. So you can do either one.
And let me just say one thing, though. This, you might have noticed a difference, right? There's only 6 tabs in here. So we're in the process right now of slowly simplifying what the client sees, even though it's the same plan that you shared with them. Okay, so we don't have tabs 7, 8, and 9 right now in the software, in the client view. I'm sorry, it's in the software for you to view, but we thought the client might get a little confused if they're going through 7, 8, and 9, right? And what we might do is add it or give you the option to add 7 and 8 and 9. 7 being life insurance, 8 being long-term care, and 9 being geometric market rates. Okay, that you can show, how they might affect, the whole retirement scenario. But you can see it's a much simpler view. And then one thing I can tell you is it's going to get even simpler, if that's a word. Okay, we're going to make it very, very easy for a client to understand, even though it's going to be extracting the numbers from your professional version. Just so you know. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Nope. Perfect. So like I said, you can show them that view. Let's go back to the other view. The net worth also, you can right there see that this net worth statement is pulled directly over again from the scenario that you shared, but it's just putting it in a nice view where they can see it. They don't have to search it out. Benetracker, that's where they can do a full review of their beneficiaries. And I tell you what, it's amazing how people don't review that enough. I think the average will is reviewed about once every 19 years. A lot of times we see when we sit down with annual reviews, people have not updated beneficiaries on their annuities, et cetera, as well. So that's a good thing to go back to clients with and just build it in the Benetracker, and it puts it in one nice summarized area for them. There's also the DocuTracker. This is one of my favorite spaces. So you can see here a lot of different default folders. You can actually customize these if you would like to. You can rename them. You can build things in for the client. But like I said, the client also has the ability to build things in here as well. They actually can lock certain things here. So if they want private files just for themselves, they can lock it. Otherwise, the documents will share directly over to you as well. And then last but not least, we have a meeting room. Now, this meeting room is something that we're currently developing, should have it launched within, I would say, the next month or so. But this is going to be a space where you can do a screen share with a client right out of Retirement Analyzer. And that's all part of that client portal subscription. So that's not going to be an extra charge. Okay. Anything else to add with that, Steve?
So you understand now, guys, and you know what we do? We actually track. We know when clients are in the software. Okay, you will know when your clients are in the software. We're even talking about giving you, for lack of a better term, like a sign-on schedule, right? You can watch their activity, right? How many times they signed in or whatever. But if we go back here, watch this now. If I go to my clients list right here, right? These dots here represent, one of three things. Number one is you don't have a client portal set up. Number two, you have it set up, but they're not in there. Number three, if you get a green dot, they're actually in there. And you'll be able to track when they're in there. Okay, and this is all part of the back and forth between you and clients. And we started this way before the COVID thing started because we wanted to give you an easier way to do business. And the clients understand this stuff. They love it. We've tested it out on a couple of our clients, Brooke and my clients, and they love it. They love going in and checking things out. Tell me now, if you have this right and you're in here, I mean, you can't tell me that a client's not going to feel more financially organized, right? If they're in here and they upload everything to their DocuTracker. I mean, why would they not? We've seen studies where clients like to work with people that help them get financially organized. So think about what we have here now. You got the net worth statement, which they walk out of your office or they can come on here anytime and find out what they're worth. Okay? As you update the financial plan, the net worth updates. Okay? I can go back here and I can take I can do this. Watch this. I don't want to share this financial plan. I could stop or maybe I've updated this one, or I could share this one if I want. I could do whatever I want. What if I just updated this one and the client has the old view? Watch. The plus information that Brooke talks about. All I got to do is click update, and then they will have the new view. So you could do that without them and just say, hey, look, go into your portal, and you have the updated view. So it's all here, okay? And we're going to make it, again, it's all written on like a 6th grade level, so the client isn't intimidated by it. And that's what we strive to do here at Thomas Gold. Okay? That's the portal. All right, Brooke, I'd like to touch on 92K, but I think that we have to, I'm going to fill it out in front of everybody, but I would appreciate it if you could talk about like what you do on the sides here. I have the start screen here, and
Okay.
just to make this look great,
And let's talk about this view really quickly. I'm actually going to have Steve quick get started where he can start keying in the information, but this first view, you and I can work together to customize it. So if you do the branding, that allows you to customize that whole front page. So we can work to build in maybe pictures or certain content the way that you want it, really make it your own. Now you can house that on a website, or maybe you're doing a workshop and you want to email out links. You as an advisor will be distributed one link that's unique to you. And then once a client clicks that, it'll start being client specific from that point on. But as you can see here, it's 9 basic bits of information. And as Steve is filling out the information, it's just so simple. So is the client retired? Are they still working? What are they bringing in? What's their retirement date? Now, this is all stuff that we're just asking, like I said, the very basics about it, but that's going to populate this information into your professional version of Retirement Analyzer. And then from there, you can do the advanced taxation work if you want to. You can build in the additional, cost basis numbers if you want to. It's not going to ask the client that level of detail, but it's going to point out for them, if they've got a potential problem with their plan. And it's really going to drive them toward wanting to talk to you for further information. That's the entire design of it. In fact, on the tail end of this, when Steve's done with the data entry, you're going to see a space pop up where you actually, if you want to record a video, a lot of people use BombBomb. There's all sorts of different programs you can use to do that. But if you want to record a little clip, you actually can come on at the end and say, thank you for filling out this application. Contact me for more information, that sort of thing. So you can embed a video right here.
And let's talk about this. So I just want you to imagine this, right? So you're asleep, it's 2 a.m., okay? Client can't sleep because they're worried about the retirement, right? You have this link, I think Brooke talked about it on your website. It's a link right here, and they can click it, and they all have their own link once they start filling it out, okay? It's a unique link for them. And they basically put all their information in 9 steps, and they want to retire in 2035. They pop all the information in, and this here says if you do, you're going to be out of money in 54. Okay, you can see the chart, right? Basic view of the analysis using the numbers that they put into the retirement analyzer. Your advisor can add more detail, and you can, right? Because we're taking like the total qualified accounts that they have. They're putting them all together. Okay, a 401k, an IRA, a 403b, right? We're looking for the total Roths, the total investment accounts. And when you separate them out, right, you know you can do, there's a lot of time you can do better by structuring like a withdrawal order. You also have the monthly expense plan that they clump, right? If I go back here, right, and then I look at this, right, the monthly expenses, right, we know if we itemize these things, right, they're going to be better. But they're putting 5,500 in there, and we're using an inflation rate, I think, of 3.14, which is the 100-year average. Okay, or 10-year average. We use an average here, okay, and then you can actually take this, break the 5,500 apart, and 99.9% of the time you're going to make it better. But they can't do that, right? The rate of return might be different. They just put a blanket rate of return across all assets. How much can you ask a client initially when they're actually filling this out on their own? And so we had to balance that when we designed this. Okay, so we feel like it's just enough to get them thinking, to give you the numbers that you have to work with, and click generate, right? And then basically they're going to get their information, right? Now, this is your name here, right? This happens to be my account, but this is your name. You click it, right? Now you can add a video if you want, right? But here's your contact information. You get an auto-generated email sent to you saying that, hey, so-and-so, Frank went through the whole process here, and he wants you to contact him. So let me show you how this works. It's kind of cool. Watch this. So that's what they see. They can edit it anytime they want. They can regenerate it. There's some disclosures underneath it. They have it for 14 days. Okay? But watch what you see now. This is kind of cool. So if I go back to my clients, right? And the guy's name was Frank Jones, and I go to my prospect list, Frank appears here. You didn't do anything here, right? You're sleeping at 2 a.m., remember. Okay? Frank fills it out. Gets nervous. He can't retire when he wants to. He asks you to contact him. His scenario is here. Here, you want to talk about fact finding? Look what you have. You have it all. It's here. You get it. The rate of return. It's here, right? It's basic, but it's here. 3.27. I'm sorry, 3.22. I'm sorry, I said 3.14. Okay, but that's what it is. Now you can sit down. You can basically take this apart and itemize it. You know, again, 99.9% of the time you're going to make it better. So what advisors do is they take the 92K scenario and they detail it, and it gets better because there's more attention that's paid. You know, we look at non-qualified accounts here, right? We don't ask them for a basis. It's going to scare them away. But they give you the amount in the non-qualified account. You add basis to this, right? Then it's going to be better, right? But again, they get their basic analysis. Now, so you get this. You actually have the initial current scenario. Now, what else do you get? Watch. If I go to the inbox here and I go to my 9 to know section, you got it right here, right? Today's 5/26, right? First use, last use, right here. Would Frank like you to contact him? Sure, yeah, he would. And he has 14 days left on his 9 to know tool, prospecting tool. Okay, he can go and generate as many analyses that he wants. Okay, he can change things around if he wants. But a lot of times what they'll do is they'll look at this, get themselves in trouble, worry about it, and have you contact them. And there you go. So what do you have? You have a relatively warm lead, right? And you have the initial info, right? You've gathered already. Okay. Now again, these can be, you know, they can. There's the client portal, the 9 to know. They all have their links. Okay, 9 to know here. You can customize. I think Brooke was talking to you about that. You can add a video at the end. But the client portal also. I want to mention this too. The people are getting so embedded with their clients right here, right? Think of this. When they sign on to the client portal, the first time you send them an auto-generated email and they sign up for the client portal. Okay, that's great. How do they get into the client portal the second time? You know how they get into the second time? Get in there the second time? You take this link right here, and you can house it on your website. Okay, so you can put a client portal button on your website. Now tell me how you feel about that. Every time the client wants to sign into their client portal, they have to go through your website and see you and see what's new with your company and what you're doing. It's a lot of traffic through, you know, your company website. So you can do it that way, or you can actually, you know, help the client, you know, bookmark the link for the sign-on. That's fine. But there's all kinds of things that you can do here to generate traffic through your website, which we think is positive. Okay, and then last but not least, right, we have a CRM. We talked a little bit about this in the beginning, right? We have a CRM, and we want to try to tie this all up, hopefully by the end of the year, and we'll be able to give you an end-to-end solution. Okay, so what do you have? You have the prospecting 9 to know, right, which we talked about right here, right? You have this to get started. You have presentations like the e-decks that we talked about. All right, you have branding to give yourself a proprietary feel. You have, in our opinion, right, the easiest software program to understand in the industry. And I'm telling you something, it does a lot under the hood that you guys have to look at. I mean, it's just amazing. But we shield that, right, and we try to keep a simple view. You want to show it? Call us, or if you feel comfortable showing it, show it. Once you get done that, you have the client portal to keep the client engaged. And then you have the CRM. And that's really our end-to-end solution, which by the end of 2020, we want to have in place. So, Brooke, I don't know if I missed anything there, but that's the way I look at it.
No, I totally agree. Just don't forget, reach out to Marcus. He can get you all set up with a subscription and get you going on the program.
Marcus, do they have any questions?
Yeah. Can you guys cover the red, blue, green? I get a lot of questions on that.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let me go back here and let's check it out. Okay, so let's do red, blue, blue, green. We don't call it that anymore, though, Marcus. We do not. We actually call it the tax tracker now. We actually changed the name on that. But I'll show you why. We call it red, green, blue, though, we did. Okay, so let's take a look at, let's see.
And just really quickly while Steve's picking his scenario. Guys, this is a model that it's free. There's no charge for it, but you do need to call in if you want to activate it on your account. It's a very heavy tax crunching calculation. So we really just turn it on for people that want to use it. What it's going to do is it's going to look at all the data that you entered on 1 through 3, and it's going to do a deep tax analysis, I guess I would say. It's really related around the power of zero concept, if you're familiar with that. So right here on tab 4, you're going to see the tax analysis. And like Steve said, we just changed the name a little while ago to tax tracker. And you can see here, this is what I'm talking about. It is crunching a lot of data under the hood. So bear with it. Don't just keep clicking. Let it think. There we go.
Yep. You get this. There's a lot of numbers here, but I'm gonna call you. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you the highlights. Okay. All right. We have right, and then basically you can convert as in as many years as you want. Okay, but in this case, they want to convert and take care of the problem over 4 years. So what the software does is it tells you what to do. So you have to do 4 years of $157,000 in conversions. So it's about $600,000 in conversions to get the right qualified balance. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. But let's just go to the highlights now. All right. Our total funds are the same, right? This is basically what we have currently, what we want to target, what we want to build to, okay, and the difference between the two. So the projected lifetime tax in this case, okay, is 1.2 million. If I do nothing and I have this analysis, okay, and I'm going to go through life, and this is what I'm going to look like at age 100, right? I did nothing. I have a small Roth, right? I have what I have here turns into this at age 100. Okay, I'll have 2.2 million, and most people would walk away. Okay, 1.2 in taxes, 2.2 million. But what if I told you if you did 157,490 over 4 years, your tax would drop from 1.2 to 700,000, almost $502,000 difference. And your legacy value, instead of being 2.2, is now 3.5. And here's the kicker, watch this. You can either have this as your tax allocation at the end of life, or watch this one right here. And I'm gonna move it up so you can see it, that one right there. Now look at that one compared to the circle number 2. Look at 4 compared to 2. 4 has $3.234 million of Roth in it. So we don't really care where taxes go, do we? It's all tax-free. There's all kinds of analysis tools here, right? RMD analysis right here, right? Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to actually take you right up. Watch this. If I do nothing, my RMDs are going to be this explosive. If I do the conversions, watch this. Look at this now. If I do them, okay, I actually go right up to the, now there's a little rounding here, right? But I'm not supposed to breach 27,400. So when I do that, right, I'm very, very close right here within $1. Okay, a little rounding, as I said, and then they go right back down. So check this out. The overage here is 1.7 million because I did nothing. Look at my RMDs. Now, if I take care of the problem today, right, there's the $1, right, that's driving me crazy and I won't sleep tonight. I have to figure that out. There's a little rounding there. But look at the tax on the RMD here versus the tax on the RMD here over a lifetime. So that's what the software does for you. It actually keeps you within the standard deduction when your RMDs have to happen. Okay, and then here's the best one. Watch this. Now, if I go to the tax analysis right here, this is kind of cool. Watch. This does the cumulative tax over a client's lifetime side by side. Okay, now you can see here, as I start to do the conversions, now look at this cumulative tax here. At the end of pre-retirement, I'm doing them while I'm working here, in this case, because I'm worried about 2026. But look, 259,000, if I do nothing and just keep going along, 467,000. Okay, that's because of the 600,000 in conversions. So now I have a big lead in cumulative tax over a lifetime, but watch what happens here now. Something interesting happens in 2045. Watch, if I'm here, right, I'm gonna watch my mouse overs here. I have 621 right here versus 600,000 here, and it just gets better and better on the right-hand side after that, where they go to 1.2 million versus 772,000. So you can see, yeah, in the beginning, I'm going to be paying more tax, but overall in the long term, I'm not, and I'm of that very, very large Roth IRA. And that's the kind of stuff we have in the software here. It used to be called RGB, red, green, blue, but Marcus said now that we have it all developed, we have some red, green, blue analysis throughout the rest of the software. We changed the name to Tax Tracker.
There you go.
And guys, that's going to help you get, really lower your lifetime taxation projection for your clients.
So if anyone has any questions out there, please feel free to put them in the box on the right side. We'll be more than happy to answer those for you at this point in time. I'm going to launch a poll here. If you want more information on Retirement Analyzer, please fill out the poll. I'll be more than happy to reach out to you at this point in time. I do appreciate your time, Steve and Brooke, this morning, covering all the information. I know we went over the hour by a little bit, but I do appreciate everyone's time. If you did get pulled away, we did record the webinar this morning. I'll be more than happy to get you out the link so you can watch it at your own convenience. But you guys have anything else you'd like to wrap up with today? I gotta go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I think we're good. But the one thing the takeaway here, guys, it's ever changing, just like the world is. Okay, and we're going to be here writing it for you. Okay, so again, you have some, we want your opinion, we want your feedback. Join the team. Consider joining the RA advisors. It's a community of advisors. We all work together. There's plenty of business for everybody, right? Everybody can learn together, and that's why we have those kinds of training events and things like that. So we'd love to have you as part of it. And the one thing I wanted to mention too, Marcus, is that with the trial, right? If they are on trial, guys, if you're on trial, you get the full everything. You get the experience. You get to come to the training classes, everything. So I just wanted to mention that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I got a question here on cost. As far as the cost goes for the software, if you are licensed through insurance agency marketing and doing $250,000 with us on the annuity side on an annual basis, we do pick up the cost for the software. So you do get access to the software. You get access to me. I'm the administrator in-house here. You get access to Steve and Brooke and their team as well. If you want all the customization, what our advisors do is use their marketing dollars to offset the costs for those. So, I mean, it's a way for us to help you build and grow your business long term. And like Stephen Brooks said, you know, this software is a foundational piece. So you can certainly add and adjust this software as you go forward, as you meet with your clients on an annual review basis. And again, it's a product neutral software. And the nice thing about it, again, is that, you know, it not only uncovers, you know, maybe an annuity opportunity, but also life and long-term care. It's not a one product or one solution or one line of business opportunity either. So, I mean, there's several different opportunities across the board with each and every client. So, um, it says, is the CRM available now, Steve?
Now we're hoping to have that done by the end of the year. We have it written, but we have to incorporate it. We want to make it work as flawlessly as the rest of the software does. Each component, you know, each component works together. So until we're happy with it and giving you guys the functionality, it's probably, if we get it done before the end of the year, we'll be very, very happy. I think we can. It's going to mirror Salesforce Lightning, if you guys are aware of that one. So, and again, the price is going to be substantially lower, and yeah, as part of the package. So this bundled pricing, if you want to, you know, you want to pick the bundled pricing, you get a lot of features added at very, very low cost. But again, you can tailor, you know, whatever you purchase here with us, we can put the plan together for you. But the base price, I think, is an amazing opportunity. IAMS covers it for you. And guys, I mean, I don't think you're going to find a software program out there that does all of this for what you're getting. I really don't. I'm kind of partial, but we really try to build it that way.
And I have one other question. What rate of returns or growth do you use for investments? Where do you usually put that? You want to go back to tab 2 and just show them that?
Yeah, you could do this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right here you have a rate of return section. Now the upgrade that's coming here in this one, okay, now you can use different rates of return. You can use rates of return for the additional assets. Remember the ones that Brooks said were not part of the drawdown process? You could rate of return anything. But what we're going to give you, okay, and we have it built, we just have to incorporate it, is geometric rates. So what does that mean? That means if you put a 4% rate of return in, a geometric average rate, you'll be able to decide on the volatility of it, okay? So in other words, you might say, hey, it might go down 20%, it might go up 20%, but I want to average out at 4. And so what we'll do is we'll actually put a random array of returns together for you that equal your 4, and then you can show up and down markets. Now, if they're annuities, obviously, right, you'll be able to put a cap in there, and then 0 is 0. So you get a 0 in a bad market. So you'll be able to have that. Right now you have this, though. Right now you can put different rates of return in before retirement, after retirement. You can change it again after that if you want. But there will be some upgraded functionality with geo rates coming this year, too. Hope that helps.
I don't see any other questions at this point in time. If anyone has any other questions, type them in. Otherwise, again, I appreciate your time, Brooke and Steve. And I think at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hope everyone has a great day. Like I said, I will follow up with each and every one of you that was on this morning. I thank you for taking time. And I will talk to you all soon. Thanks, Steve and Brooke. Have a great day.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. Bye-bye.